Carter, first I just want to start for myself and for those who don't know, what is Gator Tech?
So Gator Tech is a new sports protection equipment company. Right now, we have our first product out called Gator Skin. It's a product designed to help prevent concussions and neck injuries. Looks very similar to a balaclava or a ski mask. The one difference being, in terms of its looks, that it comes down over the chest, shoulders, and upper back. And the way it's designed to function is it takes the energy of an impact and it dissipates it throughout the entire piece, but it also utilizes that energy to basically turn into a neck brace. So you get all the flexibility of a normal balaclava with all of the benefits of wearing that heavier, more rigid piece of equipment.
So I was doing some research and I saw that you guys have done some studies at the Virginia Tech Lab, which I know that like all football helmets, that is like the gold standard of where the testing is done. Take me through that process and what the results showed.
Yeah, so we've gone several times now to Virginia Tech, tested several different iterations of the product. And what that entails is essentially there's a crash test dummy head and neck system that they've developed and they use for all of their football, hockey, helmet testing. And what we did is it was pretty simple. We brought it through the standard protocol for many different sports, specifically hockey and football. And we tested just a football helmet, and then we put our product Gator Skin on underneath that football helmet and retested it. And it's just a simple delta analysis or comparison between those two. And what it's shown is very, very significant benefits to reducing the risk of concussion. During our testing, we saw up to a 59% absolute reduction in concussion risk. And we also saw, in terms of some benefits to the neck, a 10-degree decrease in the peak angle of cervical extension, basically just how far back your head goes during the impact. And that dropped down 10 degrees, which is very significant. Basically takes you out of the range of risk for a lot of different neck injuries.
And you just touched on this a little bit with the reducing of neck injuries. But what are the benefits of the Gator Skin coming all the way down to your shoulders?
Yeah, so one, it's that benefit to the neck from the ability for it to basically function as a neck brace. But two, due to the way it's designed, it does have that material benefit to reducing the risk of concussion. If you think about it, the way the systems work now, the ability for you to reduce energy is limited to your helmet and the surface area of your helmet, whereas now we have had basically added surface area with this product, and you're able to dissipate it over a larger area, and therefore you're able to dissipate a lot more force and energy.
Describe the product a little bit more to me. What is it made out of? Is it heavy? I think, especially when you think of professional athletes, they're all very particular, of course, on what they are wearing. And guys, I think kind of the trend now, especially in the NFL, is people like to be as streamlined as possible. They want as little padding as possible to be as fast as possible. So why would a player decide, of course, there's the potential added concussion, reducing concussions, but for a player, do you think that would outweigh the potential having extra weight on them, basically?
Yeah, so it's designed to be very lightweight. It's minimalistic in the sense that it's not too thick. It's only 5 millimeters thick. We're also experimenting with different variable thicknesses to just see if we can even get that down even further without limiting the effectiveness of the product. I'm an athlete. Everyone in our company, actually in our leadership team, is either former collegiate player for either football, hockey, across men's and women's sports. And everything we've done is keeping the wearability and comfort in mind, first and foremost, right along with protection. So it's designed, one, to replace an existing thing like balaclavas that some football players already wear in games, while adding that extra protection. So it's an easy transition. I've worn it here in Texas, 105 degrees, running around. It's barely noticeable. It doesn't add any heat to you. And it's very comfortable and doesn't restrict your range of motion whatsoever.
So is it almost like, and completely correct me if I'm wrong, is it almost like a compression sleeve type material?
Not quite. So there's a specialty design proprietary technology within it that allows you to get that very soft, flexible material. But when you do take that hit, it does literally become rigid and allow you to have that stability.
Gotcha. And take me through your inspiration for this. Where did the inspiration come from? Where did the design come from?
Yeah, so the inspiration is truly my brother, and he was a collegiate football player for Washington Lee University. They're in Division III football, ODAC conference, and they were playing in the conference championship game his junior year of college, and he suffered a career-ending concussion in that game. His only memory of it, and it's really not a memory, it's just a photo of him celebrating with the rest of the team after they won. He can't remember the game whatsoever. Seeing him go through the immediate aftermath of that, just all the symptoms, everyone like relates to concussions with the headaches and everything like that, vision issues, memory issues. That short-lived problem was difficult, but there's a year-long period of recovery that not a lot of people know about. It doesn't happen with every football player or so everyone who suffers a concussion, but it does happen very, very frequently. And seeing him go through that year-long process, basically just trying to get back to where he was before he suffered that concussion, really motivated me to sit down and try to address the issue. And that's where this idea came from. I was just basically thinking about the issue, how concussions come about, and that's where I had the idea for Gator Skin, and eventually kicked off and started to develop it.
And in terms of what does gator skin do that a helmet does not?
Yeah, so a helmet is localized to just your head, basically. Gator Skin is in addition to the helmet. It's just meant to improve the functionality of helmet, but also acts as that stabilizer for the neck. And some of the benefits obviously are to neck injuries and everything like that. But it's also something that is really, really important in terms of helping to reduce those acceleration values that otherwise a helmet kind of tops out in terms of its efficacy.
So where do you go from now? Of course, you would love your product to be worn by collegiate, high school, professional athletes everywhere. What is that step to getting to having those players try out your design and your gator skin?
Yeah, first and foremost, it's just raising awareness about the product, getting it in front of as many people as possible, let them know that it exists, that's an option for people to wear. From there, we've already had discussions and have a couple different high school and college teams this coming season wearing it. And hopefully, as we continue to go along, more and more teams will continue to adopt and to start wearing it. And from there, it'll just spread more and more people. And that's the goal for this product. Yeah.
What is your background? Do you have some sort of like design science background? I mean, obviously, developing a piece of equipment like this takes a lot of research, a lot of knowledge to understand how concussions work and stuff like that. Take me through that.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm pretty young still. I'm only 19, so I don't have a super long career or anything like that. But one of the major interests in my life has always been physics, engineering, everything like that. My dad is someone who he himself has about 700 issued patent claims. He's a huge inventor, entrepreneur, and he's really raised me and my brother along with that same mindset, with a creative mindset. And that's where all of this comes from. And I was really just applying some of the physical, like the physics things that I've learned and picked up and researched independently over the years to this new design, and that's how it came to be.
What are some of the challenges with taking gator skin to the masses? You know, having a few of them that some teams are wearing is one thing. Mass producing it for thousands of athletes is a totally different scale. So how do you get to that step?
So I mean, we're already basically lined up in that sense. We have different groups and producers that are able to handle that level of scale. It's just a matter of forming those partnerships and allowing you to handle that scale and be ready for those sorts of numbers when it comes to a production standpoint.
Have you seen any other type of products like this on the market, or are you guys really the first of its kind?
It's the first of its kind in the sense that it's a head, neck, shoulder integrated device. There's nothing else out there on the market like this. It's obviously patent pending, a brand new concept. There are a couple other products that attempt to help, similar to GatorSkin, improve the functionality of helmets. But those are like Guardian cap stuff that goes on top of the helmet. This is new in the sense that it's worn underneath all the existing equipment. There's nothing really like it out there. Also, it's unique in the fact that unlike some of those other add-ons, unlike a helmet where you take just a hit to the head, this is a product that will also activate anytime your head moves faster than it normally could move. So specifically whiplash events, it's something that's going to activate and resist that, whereas you won't see that resistance when it comes to helmets, which require that hit to the head.
What do you mean when you say activate?
Yeah, so that rigidity and the ability for it to help fight against those acceleration values and really just help decelerate or resist those accelerations of the head.
So what is the material that it's made out of?
That's a proprietary material and design. Sorry.
Okay, no, I got you. Are there any things that you are hoping to still fine tune? Things that you want to, still maybe make a little bit better on the product?
Yeah, so we're constantly iterating, retesting. It's just the fluid nature of the design process. We always want to put the best product out there. Obviously, cutting down even more on the weight of the product, making it more comfortable and everything like that is something we're going to continue to work on. Right now, we're at a spot that we're extremely comfortable with. It's totally something that's easily wearable, very effective. But there's always room for improvement with all things, and we're just going to continue to hone in on those small things that we'd like to fix.
Are these available for the public to buy right now?
Yeah, so they're available for pre-order right now on our website, GatorSkin, and we're going to start fulfilling those hopefully in September and start getting people in them this coming football season and skiing and everything like that.
What is the price of one of them?
Right now it's $189.
Gotcha. And it sounds like, you guys are trying to expand more than just football. Football, of course, is the most prevalent sport where we see concussions, but it sounded like from what I was reading, I mean, hockey, of course, and it sounded like maybe even soccer, really any sport where head impacts are prevalent.
Yeah, it's easily skiing also is another one. Just replace the ski mask basically with something that's going to help add protection to you anytime you fall. Skiing has some very violent collisions because people are going very fast. Also, snowboarding, very easy next comparison.
So does it come over? Does it cover any of your face, or does it stop right like along your jaw?
It comes underneath your jaw and it stays out of your eye line and comes over your forehead.
Okay.
So
okay.
It's not something that's going to affect your vision or anything like that. But it does still, you can still feel it, if that makes sense.
Okay. Those are all the questions I have. Is there anything else that you would like to add, Carter, about what your next steps are?
Yeah, no, that's about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I thank you so much, man, for meeting with me. I'm very intrigued by this, and I'm sure. I mean, I wish you all the best of luck. It sounds like you guys are really on the path to something that could be really important here. So I appreciate the work you're doing, and I hope to chat again in the future.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a good day, man.
You too.